Kayla, tell us, why did you initially invest in one-on-one nutrition coaching?
I think that I originally invested in this because I just wanted to feel more confident in myself. I think that I really wanted to be able to show up in my own life, and I'm a cheerleading coach. So to be able to display that self-confidence and have that mentality that I can do whatever I've set my mind to, and kind of put that onto my cheerleaders so that they're in middle school right now and they probably are feeling defeated, whether it's about their body image or about personality or anything that is in between. So I think that just really gaining that self-confidence and being able to really just show up in my own life.
I love that. And we were talking a little bit off camera before, and you said that coming into this process, you were worried that it was going to be really restrictive and aggressive and something that you felt like all diets, you would just try and then fail. Was that your biggest fear coming into this process?
My biggest fear was definitely the fear of failure, and just that I've done what felt like everything before and nothing seemed to work, and my body's different than someone else's body that might have gone through this, and just having that mentality that I can't do anything about it and that this is just the way that my body is. So I definitely think that just the fear of failure is what really kind of got me at the beginning.
And how did you get past that? Like, I mean, the fear of failure is huge, right? It often paralyzes us and stops us from taking action. Yet here you are several months down the pike, having lost inches and gained tons of confidence in your relationship with food. So what helped you overcome that barrier?
The biggest thing was the accountability of having someone that wasn't going to tell me you're doing X, Y, and Z wrong, but just having that consistent reassurance of, okay, maybe something didn't go right this week, but why did that happen and how can we fix it? And I think also just going slow and doing small changes at a time has been super helpful, and not saying, oh, well, Kayla, you have to cut out carbs for the rest of your life, has been super helpful.
Yeah, none of that. We want this to last. No fads here. So Kayla, can you tell us a little bit about your big, powerful goal? Like, what did you want from the whole coaching process?
Number one was definitely self-confidence, having that confidence to just to show up and be present. I think being able to get back on the cheerleading mat is something that has been really near and dear to my heart, and it's something that I love. So being able to get back out there and not have that fear of, well, I'm not a size 2 like Jill over here, and I'm getting married next September. So being able to walk down that aisle and have that confidence and feel beautiful in whatever size, whatever I'm wearing on that day. So really just that self-confidence and being able to show up.
Can you tell us how one-on-one nutrition coaching has helped you start to do that? And obviously you're not at the end of your journey, but you have made so much progress to date. So how have you moved towards that goal a little bit so far?
I had a really, really bad problem with coffee. I was drinking coffee like pretty much every day, not because I needed it, not because my energy was low, but just because it tasted good and I wanted some. So one of my action steps has been decreasing that coffee consumption and increasing it with water. And I think that has definitely helped. And I think also just like staying in tune with my body and realizing that, okay, my body is full or almost full right now, so I need to stop. Or that it's just a time for me to take a break or put the fork down or whatever that may be. And just going little by little, I think has been super helpful.
And I'm going to brag on you a little bit because you're being super modest, but you also have discovered if I leave my diet and my health up to chance, up to convenience, I don't win. And by win, I mean, I never feel the way that I want to. Mm-hmm. And so what you have done, a big part of your action plan thus far has been pre-planning for a week, whether that means, hey, look, I'm going to prioritize water and then treat myself to a coffee on Friday. Or I'm going to plan out my meals this week with my significant other and say, hey, here's when we're committed to eating in, and here's what we're going to choose when we eat out. And so you have really taken initiative to say, this is my life. And if I don't take charge of it, like nobody else will. And so I have to step up for me. Like that's what I've seen as your coach. And so yeah, big win. I want to make sure we celebrate. Now, Kayla, tell us, at the beginning of your journey, you were kind of scared to invest in a process like this. intimidated because you had failed before. Would you recommend this process now that you're well on your way to your goal to someone else struggling or who was in a similar situation?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that going into it, like, although I was scared, I think that part of that the fear of failure, was also the money. I think that money has always been something that has been like super important to my family for some reason. And it's just always been, we don't have the money for that, or we can't do that. It's just always been that way. So I was really scared to invest not only my time, but also my money into it, because I didn't know if I was going to see results. And now, 9 months later, I'm like, I would absolutely spend the money. And I hope that anyone that thinks that they can't do this hears this and is like, oh my gosh, like if she can do it, then I can do it. So for sure, I would definitely recommend it to anyone. And don't be afraid of failure or afraid of the money aspect that comes along with it.
Do you think, Kayla, that part of the reason you have been so successful is because you had so much to lose? I like to use this mantra sometimes that when we pay attention, because giving our finances away is scary as hell. And so when we do that, it's sort of like, I have to be successful. Like, I have a lot of skin in the game. So I know what I'm investing in this. I'm choosing to show up. Like, I have no other choice. Do you think that's been part of the reason why you've been so successful?
For sure. I think that like in the past, I've been like, oh, what's the cheapest way to lose weight? Or what's the cheapest way to be able to do this? And I'm like, okay, I'm not really losing that much. And now that, I mean, it's not just my money really anymore, it's our money now. So thinking about my significant other, myself, and okay, this is something that we're both choosing to invest in. And if we're both choosing to invest in it, then we both need to be all in. And he's been super supportive about it too. So I think that that's been super helpful.
I love that. And I think basically what you guys did is together, you had a conversation. First and foremost, you brought your partner into the combo with you, but it was also asking not just what will this cost me, but what will this allow me to do in my life? Like, what's the cost benefit ratio here? Yeah, it's a financial investment. This is a high value program, and the financial investment is tied to that. But at the same time, high value results. So am I willing to put in the time, energy, and finances that it takes to get this big, powerful goal out? And you ultimately decided, yes, it's worth it. And it's been my pleasure helping you get to this point, but I can't wait to continue watching you succeed. Kayla, thank you for sharing just a little bit of your big, powerful story with us. I'm sure it will inspire many people who are scared of failure and have tried a lot of things before that just feel like it hasn't worked. So thank you for being vulnerable and willing to be brave.